Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday, and if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or just go ahead and search Barb on most of the popular podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, all of the rest. Barb, what will we be talking about this weekend?
Well, this is going to be a very interesting and controversial show today, Richard, because there are some things I'm sure people have heard on the news that the National Association of Realtors have settled a lawsuit about how commissions are paid, particularly to buyers agents. So we're going to deep dive on that. What does that mean for consumers? How is it going to affect the real estate market? I'm really excited about talking about that. But the number one topic, it does cover that briefly, but basically it covers what is most desirable to a real estate buyer in today's market, particularly when working with agents, what they're looking for, what they're trying to get. The number two topic is the 10 ways to buy your next home without selling your current home. It's the number one dilemma with many home buyers that if they want to upgrade to their next home, yet they have a current home to sell, how do they make that transition? And we have an abundance of solutions for those buyers. And it's actually about 60 to 70% of the buyers have a house to sell. The next thing we're going to cover are the top 10 questions that home sellers need to know before putting their home up for sale. And the very last topic is how home sellers can save thousands by hiring my team. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team, and how the new National Association of Realtors lawsuit settlement is going to change the industry this summer. And as always, our hot new listings. Richard?
Now, Barb, you often talk about real estate buyers in the market and what is attractive to them. So, what are buyers looking for when they plan to purchase real estate in today's market?
Well, one of the things that has really changed, in particular the last 10 years, is that the quality of the imagery, the photos that we put online, has gotten so high tech, and the ability to zoom in and really get details on a house based on the pictures, that many buyers are making a decision about whether or not they're even going to bother to leave their fuzzy money slippers and drive by the home and check it out further. So we know buyers are eliminating homes based on what's presented online first. That's the first area that you have to pass in order to attract a buyer. And so the way most buyers connect with an agent is they start looking online, they see something that they might want to look at, and then they finally raise their hand and give their contact information to say, hey, I'm interested in that home. I'd like to take a look at it. So the way the industry has changed, it used to be years ago when I first started in the business, the online presence and the pictures of homes really was not good enough for a buyer to make a decision about whether or not they wanted to buy in that location. They didn't know anything about the area. So they would rely very heavily on the agents, not only on what homes they wanted to see, but also what areas they wanted to look in. What has changed in today's market is much of that stuff is available online. People can sit there on their phone. They can look at the Google map around it. They can see everything around the home. They can look at some of these other websites and see the history of the listing, how long it's been on the market, whether or not they made price adjustments. There's all kinds of data out there for the buyer to easily see at their fingertips. So typically buyers really just need buyer's agents to open a door and make an offer. And that's kind of how it works. So what happens is they see the presentation that the listing agent made about the home online. Then they go drive by. Then they're like, okay, I like the area. I really want to explore this further. I'd like to see this home. They reach out to who they think is the listing agent, which it's definitely not. If you're looking on Zillow or Realtor.com, you're not getting the listing agent unless you scroll all the way down to the bottom and look for their phone number. You're getting some random agent that paid Zillow or Realtor.com for leads, and they don't know anything about the home. So this is how it goes. The buyer raises their hand and says, hey, I'd like to see that home. Is it available? And the agent goes, oh, let me check. You can see them typing it in, and then they'll go, yeah, it's available. When would you like to see it? So the very first meeting with the buyer is at the house, opening the door. Many times these agents have no idea what the buyer is looking for, and they have no idea whether or not the buyer has the ability to buy a home. In fact, this state does not require the agent to verify that the buyer has the ability to buy a home. They open the door and they kind of hope that this buyer wants the house. So, and then it goes from there if it does. And that's what gets really frustrating for sellers is like they go through all this trouble to prepare their home to show, and they're thinking, okay, this is the one. I'm so excited. They're going to love the home. They're going to make an offer and they're going to get it. We're going to sell it. Well, unfortunately, they don't know. Just the other day, I had a showing on one of my listings. It's a beautiful ranch style home with spectacular views. It really is a gorgeous property. It backs to open space in a great neighborhood. Well, the feedback from the agent was, well, the buyer really wanted a two-story, not a ranch. And I'm like, why are you showing a ranch? And I think what happened is my guess that somehow they got connected via Zillow or Realtor.com, which are not the MLS, they are tech companies, with this buyer. And the buyer wants to see this house. So the very first meeting is at the house, even though they're not going to buy that house. So it's really frustrating for home sellers because they take all this time and effort in order to prepare for these showings and pick things up and make sure the dishes are put away and the beds are made and on, thinking that this is the one. And these agents have no clue. So I have this stuff happen all the time. Now, recently, very recently in the news, everybody's hearing that the National Association of Realtors settled a lawsuit to stop all the lawsuits that were happening. It wasn't just one, there were 5 or 6 going on. And basically, the home sellers got together and said, wait a minute, I don't think this is fair. I'm paying my agent X percent, let's say 6 as an example. Okay. And they're sharing some of that commission with the buyer's agent. But that buyer's agent is trying to get me to sell the home for a lower price, asking me to spend thousands of dollars of fixing things. And then they try to sabotage the transaction through the process for various reasons. And I'll tell you some stories about that. So what the problem was that they were paying a buyer's agent to work against them like a conflict of interest. So these lawsuits started to get a lot of traction. Plus, some of the brokerages were absolutely requiring that if the agents didn't offer so much commission to the buyer's agent would actually boycott that listing and not show it. Now, that's not legal, but I'm just telling you it could happen. And the truth is that now, because the technology is so good, the buyers are really deciding what homes that they want to see. So this settlement came out, and basically what they said is we're no longer going to offer compensation to the buyer's agent through the multiple listing service. And any agent that shows a home has to have they have to have a contract with their buyer on how they're going to be paid. It's not going to be from the seller, or it could be from the seller if it's negotiated. So it really is going to throw our world upside down starting in July. I'm super excited about it. It's the best thing that ever could have happened to the industry, because right now, what agents are doing is just showing homes to buyers that the buyers already have access to. There's really zero effort on the buyer's agent to go out and find a home that they're looking for. They're really glorified door openers. And then when you calculate the average amount of time that a buyer's agent spends helping a buyer get to the finish line from the time they first meet all the way to closing, the average is about 10 hours. Well, if you do the math, the average sales price and the average commission, that works out to be about $1,500 an hour that these agents are making, opening a door, writing a contract, and trying to sabotage the deal all the way. Richard, do you like that job?
No, I do not. I mean, if I am somebody who is buying or selling, I don't like that at all. And I need somebody like you that I can trust to get me through the maze of all of the various regulations and the way business is done.
Yep. So that's how it works right now. And then the listing agents stick it in the MLS and hope some other agent brings the buyer. It's really kind of a messed up system. And I feel like that some of this is just old technology that's starting to rear its ugly head and change the way we do business. So I think it's great. It's a great thing that happened. It's going to change the industry. A lot of the agents that aren't skilled at providing value to their buyers are probably going to get out of the business, and we're just going to see good quality agents that are there for a while. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyers team. And right now we're talking about really what buyers are wanting in a home, what makes them raise their hand. And basically what they need to do is work with an agent that can actually absolutely bring them value. I was talking with one of my agents this morning that shared with me that she teaches her buyers how to invest in real estate. That's absolute value that you don't see very often. Most of these agents are very what I call transactional. They're all about the money and they don't provide value. And I think we're going to see a lot of those people weeded out with this new lawsuit. So I'm Barb Schlinker. If you are thinking of making a move, give me a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you'd like a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, we'll go over the closing costs, give you a really good idea on what your home will sell for and how much you'll put in your pocket. Plus, we'll share with you all of our buyers in waiting that we have, including buyers on realtorzillow.com, our citywide buyer agent network, our guaranteed sale program, and our cash buyers. Give us a call, 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the things that are most desirable to a buyer purchasing a home. What do you think that the buyers want?
Well, I think in general, first of all, they think when an agent shows them the home, they know something about it. So they want the agent to have knowledge about the property. The more information is better. It's really one of their largest investments, and they don't want to make a mistake on choosing the right property. So it's really important, but most of the time, if you got some agent in there that hasn't done any research, which I know for a fact, they don't research homes before they show them. So we have to kind of force feed the buyers the information because we know the agents aren't going to even look it up. I can't even get them to read the showing instructions. I mean, the combo for the house goes right to their cell phone, and I get calls all the time. I can't get in. What's the combo? It's just crazy. So basically, we provide great information on the home, things like placards of the not obvious improvements in the home, flyers, online information, pre-inspections, any kind of data that the seller can provide that shows it as a benefit. And so that's why you really need somebody that knows how to represent a seller and get all of what I call the 4 Ps right. Preparing the home to get top dollar, picking the right agent, pricing it right, and promoting the home so those buyers flock to your door. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the top ways to buy your next home without selling your current home first. Stay tuned for that.